This video is on how to do the star stitch on the star stitch baby jacket. I know there's been some confusion on how to make this work, so I'm going to do just a video on how to do the star stitch. It's a 4-row repeat. You start with knit 2, and the second row of the knit 2 makes the ridge, and the ridge is where you start making your stars. So every time you have 2 rows of knit, that's the beginning of a star. If you do those 2 rows of knit and then do 2 more rows of knit, you're going to get a ridge like this between each set of your stars. It's entirely up to you which way you want to do it. Now in the pattern, you're going to see 2 sets of patterns. You're going to see the star stitch pattern here, and then you're going to see this part here. This is the part you do when you make the hat, the cuffs, and the hem. But when we're doing this, there is a buttonhole, so therefore we had to make another segment here where we talk about how to do the part with the yarn over for the buttonhole, because it is a little bit different to make it work. So we're going to start with the boy. I've already knitted the first 2 rows, and there's that ridge I was telling you about. So let's get started. We start with knit 2, yarn over, knit 2. There's the buttonhole, the yarn over. And that's going to add 1 extra stitch onto your overall length. So there's a knit 2, yarn over, knit 2. See if I can bring this up a little closer. That's a little better. Okay. Now the next thing says slip 1 stitch as if to purl, then knit 1. So we're going to slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, and see when you knit 1, you're going to carry the yarn back behind that slip stitch because you're not actually going to knit that slip stitch. So you have a little bit of a bar back here, right there. So you're going to slip 1, knit 1, 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 slip 1, knit 1. Now we've got only 4 stitches left, so we're going to knit the last 4. Now if you have this pattern and you don't have this stitch count, you can always cross off the 5 that's here and change it to a 4. But there will be a new revised pattern out there also. So now we're going to turn to the back. Now you notice how the stitches kind of set themselves into doubles. This is kind of a way to help to know which one you're going to slip and which one you're going to knit when you come to row 2. So we're going to start with knit 5, because that would be your garter band, button band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this F and a YFT stands for yarn in front of your work, and the YBK is yarn in the back of your work. So we're going to start by bringing the yarn in front, slip 1 as if to purl, put the yarn back to the back and knit 1. So bring the yarn to the front. Now see how you've got, this one has a bar. This was the last stitch you knitted. You see this one doesn't have a bar because there's that yarn I was telling you about. So you're always going to slip the slip stitches, bring the yarn to the back, and knit the knit stitches. Bring the yarn to the front, slip the slip stitch, yarn to the back, knit. We're going to do this all the way across. Slip that slip stitch, because that one does not have, it's not knitted, because there's the yarn that would have knitted it if it was knitted. So I'm going to bring it to the back, pick it up, oops, take the yarn to the back again, and knit. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip 1, knit 1, and you do this to the last 4 stitches, and we're getting pretty close to that now. slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one. Now you see we got 4 stitches left, so we're going to knit the last 4. And you want to knit the yarn over. It looks like a big hole, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So go ahead and knit it. Okay, and then row 5 and 6 are knit. I don't show them here, but 5 and 6 are knit. So what we would do is we would knit the next 2 rows, and that would be the setup for your next set of star stitches, or getting ready to work on the yoke, whatever part of the pattern you're on. Now this is just plain knit, so I don't need to do this really slow, because you should be able to knit by now if you've already picked up this pattern. Oh, there's one that I missed. What'd I do? Oh, that was a knit stitch that didn't knit. Okay, now it's knitted. You just keep going all the way across. It's hard to go slow. I'm so used to knitting at my speed. But like I said, right now this is just plain old knit. You knit every single stitch, whether it was a slip or knit. Take it all the way to the end. And then you would knit back. That would be row 6 would be knit back. And this would be the end of your actual neckband of your baby jacket. Now if you were doing the hat or something else, this would be the first 2 knits, which would be right here, to start doing that one again. But you'd actually be doing this one up on top. But the pattern kind of helps explain all this to you. Also on the pattern is a pair of booties and mittens, along with the pattern to make the little hat and the jacket in 4 sizes. So you have enough patterns there for your whole year of baby growth, depending on what size your baby is when it's born. No 2 babies are alike, so it's always better to knit one a little bit bigger so the baby can grow into it than to knit one at an exact size. But it's entirely up to you. Now this is the back. If I turn it to the front, there you can see the stars right here. They don't look as nice in the larger size yarn as they do in the small, but see, here's the ridge. Now that would be the ridge, which is here, which then I would start rows 3 and 4 right here to do the hat or the cuffs. So now we're going to do the girl size, the girl. I don't like using metal needles. Okay, so we start with the same thing. We have 2 rows of knit, then we'll go down to here and do these 2 rows. So I've already knitted the 2 rows, as you can see here, and there's the ridge. So let's start here. I'm going to start with a knit 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the repeat is knit 1, slip 1 as if to purl. So we're going to knit 1, slip 1, 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 till you get to 5 stitches. And I have 5 here, so we're going to knit 3, yarn over, and knit 2. So we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3. The yarn over is the buttonhole, and then knit the last 2. Okay, so now we've completed row 3. I'm going to turn our work. And we're going to start with a knit 6. Let's see if it works out right, because we want to make sure we have a slip when we start doing this part. So we're going to knit 6. Oh, Let me get that other wooden needle. Those metal ones make too much noise. So we're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3. Now that's the buttonhole. 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to start with the yarn in front, slip 1. So bring the yarn to the front and see there's the slip stitch right there. And there's the knitted stitch because it's got the horizontal bar across it where this stitch does not have the thread on it. So we're going to slip that stitch. So if you get off somehow with a stitch and you're not quite sure if you're supposed to be slipping or knitting, just look at the back of the stitches and it'll help show you, because if you're slipping a stitch, you don't have a thread attached to it to start with, because you're going to slip all your slips and knit all your knits. So there's a slip, knit, yarn in front, slip, yarn in back, knit, yarn in front, slip, yarn in back, knit, yarn in front, slip, yarn in back, knit. Okay, I'm just going to speed up a little bit to get to the end because it's all the same thing. Slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit 1, while moving your yarn from the front to the back. Okay, now I'm down to the last 5 stitches because I finished with the knit. Because see, here's the slip, and there's the knit. I'll go ahead and take these 2 off so you can look at them. Okay, so I'm down to 7 stitches here. So when I slip this one, and then knit this one, I have 5 left. So you want to knit the last 5. Now if you look at your pattern and you notice there's a misprint on the amount of stitches here, or here, or here, just change it on your pattern and there will be a new one available shortly. And now you would go back and start with knit 2 rows again, because that will finish off the button band, because these are the last 2 rows you knit. And that gives you your last edge. Because you can see on this one that I've started. So I've got my knit 2 here. Kind of hard to see with the design on it. Got the knit 2 here, and there's the 2 rows for the star stitch. And there's the other 2 knit rows, which are not shown here. That's 5 and 6. Then once you complete that, then you start doing your increases to form your raglan design.